I'm just moving right now, and I was like, okay, I need a self-storage just to park stuff for about a month.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating when I go, oh, that's the nearest storage. And I go to the website and I have to fill out an email form to see if there's anything available. And then I have to wait for them to come back to me and say, oh, we have this available, but not that, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Dare to go fully digital. Let it be unmanned.
Hello everyone, my name is Laura and today we are back with our episode with the Smart Storage Talk. We are having the 4th episode today, and today we're going to talk about the future of mixed-use buildings, so combining different verticals such as self-storage, co-working, and any sorts of flexible office, and making, of course, it digital. Today I have a very special guest. Probably you guys don't know him yet. Some of you might know him, but I would say the audience for self-storage probably don't know him. So please welcome everyone, Johan from Agendo. Hello, Johan.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for your time. So for the people who might not know you, I think let's start there. Can you please explain who you are? What are you guys doing with Agendo? Where are you based as well? And yeah, please introduce yourself.
Sure. Well, like I said, thank you for having me on. This is very exciting. I think this is my first podcast appearance. So
yay.
Excuse me if I'm a little nervous.
That's fine. We just talk.
Yeah. But no, I'm Johan Lundin. I'm co-founder and CEO of Agendo. We're based in Stockholm, Sweden, and are right now starting to branch out into Europe. So that's exciting. And everybody's wondering, what is Agendo?
What are you guys doing?
What are we doing? Yeah, I ask myself that every day.
Every day.
No, we're the easy way to explain it, it's a booking system. The more correct way to describe it, it's a business operating system for people that shared spaces, essentially. So we want to handle the booking or reservation, if you want to call it, payment, and also connected to digital access. We just integrated with Sensorberg, which is very exciting for us. To be
very much. Yeah.
I know, to give all the big plenty of options that Sensorberg offers in terms of opening. So what our ideal flow is, that it's a completely automated flow for a customer to make the reservation, do the payment, and get access. And you, as the owner or operator of, let's say, co-working or self-storage, you are not supposed to do anything, really, more than monitor and make sure that the facilities are in order, and the administrative stuff should work itself out, so to say, ideally.
That's great. So you guys, just a follow-up question on that. So you guys, when did you start with Agendo, and in which types of real estate are you already, or which types of verticals are you guys already in?
Yeah, good question. We started in 2020. So we're getting, I don't know if we can call ourselves a startup anymore, but I keep
6
calling
years,
us a startup. And we really are focused on let's say, the surfaces or areas for bookings, which means one of our big verticals is conference rooms. Self-storage is another big one, but really any type of area that's usually unmanned or doesn't need to be manned.
And where you can book something, right?
Yeah, you can book something. It's shared. We call it shared. And it could be, like I said, for a conference room, it's for an hour or half an hour, or self-storage, it's an ongoing. So we pair it with a subscription, meaning that you pay an initial fee, and then every month we withdraw from a credit card. and the booking will then continue until either the administrator turns it off or the customer turns it off. Of course, we can pair this with all the settings for, you know, how long is your do you have to give notice and how quickly can you move in, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And this is implemented on our customer's website. We're going to launch an app soon as well. But the idea is that the customer goes to your website, makes a booking on your website, so the customer has the feeling that you're with that brand all the time. We don't want to print ourselves.
100%. So the people in the end, let's say the end customer won't see Agendo very much somewhere, right? It's basically just that the operator or the real estate provider, the location, basically there you book it and pay it, and then Agendo is just running in the background, kind of, right?
Yes, you want to see as little of us as possible, both as an administrator and as a customer, because so we want to be as anonymous as possible and just facilitate the reservation of the space and the payments essentially, and also integrate with the digital access. Which of course follows the booking. So it activates when the booking starts and it deactivates when the booking terminates.
100%.
The value proposition, what we sell is time, essentially. For time for our administrators or the people that, you know, that buy Agendo to facilitate the bookings in their organization. We want to eliminate as much admin as possible, thus giving you more time to do customer outreach or just customer service, or maybe not work at all. That would whatever you want to do.
I'm curious as well, Johan. I mean, we've been talking for a couple of months now, of course, because of the, you know, partnership, Sensorberg and Agendo, and the integration, of course, because at one point we needed to, or you guys needed to integrate into our system for the access control. But I'm just curious, like, how come you're so much also now interested in self-storage? Because up till now you were mostly focused on co-working or any other sorts of commercial real estates, really, where you can book like conference room, meeting rooms, and so on and so on. And now you're kind of entering and jumping into self-storage. How come?
Well, it's by request, I would say. At least here in Sweden, we people had not found a system they're really happy with to automate this full journey. And we have student apartments, which is very similar. You know, you start, it's a couple of months duration. We integrate with access control. We send the invoices or deduct from a credit card. So it's very similar. And that's part of our philosophy. We're not built to be specifically to just one niche, which to begin with, it's more difficult for our customers to understand who we are. But over time, we have seen it as a strength because we're encountering much more of this mixed use. You know, you have a company that has several self-storages, but they also have a co-working, but they also rent out.
Have an office, for example.
They have offices and they rent out lorries, or, you know, usually organizations, the self-storage is part of a wider context. And we can then handle other side businesses as well. So, and we know the value of having everything in one system is apparent because, you know, you don't have to waste time copying, pasting information between different systems.
100%.
But the self-storage, to your question, I think it's a growing business. People need storage much more because we're both buy more stuff, but we're also our lives are more flexible, I would say. There are people moving around.
We have less space. We have less space at home to store our stuff, right?
I know. I'm just moving right now, and I was like, okay, you know, I need a self-storage just to park stuff for about a month. And it's so frustrating when I go, oh, that's the nearest storage. And I go to the website and I have to fill out an email form to see if there's anything available. And then I have to wait for them to come back to me and say, oh, we have this available, but not that, et cetera, et cetera. And now I feel, you know, it's 2 days have gone by and I could have already been moving my stuff and starting with the paint job and everything. But so that's a use for the end customer, which then brings use to you as a self-storage provider.
Yeah.
But speaking aside from just storage, we talked a little bit about conference rooms, or just any sort of unmanned or any area where you could buy access to. We see in the coworking arena that you need to have dual use. You have the conference rooms for your members that rent space from you, and they sit there and they use the conference room. But those get pretty sparsely used from just internal usage. To be able to open it up in the same system for non-members to pay to come in to use the conference room for a couple of hours for an important customer meeting, or what have you, that is really a side revenue that is overlooked, I should say. It's been kind of a nice to have, nice if it happens, but also kind of a lot of work, because then you need to deal with somebody calling in and figuring out the payment, figuring out the keys, figuring all that out. If that's just readily available on your website and you pay a couple of €100 per hour for a nice conference room, you make the payment, you get the key, everything is set up, obviously, so you only get access when the booking is there. That kind of takes the hassle out of it.
Yeah. And the operator creates different revenue streams, right?
Without adding extra admin work.
I think that's a big plus. Yeah.
Yes. And I meet a lot of people that have these ideas, but then they don't do it because they're like, okay, well, would we need to hire somebody? How would we set up? What's the infrastructure like? How would we accept the payments? Running all these questions. We want to just, don't worry about it. Just, we'll set it up and it will be up and running in no time. So we really, out of the box, you can be up and running with us in an hour.
Let's talk a little bit about the challenges, because it sounds great. I mean, it sounds amazing, but what about the challenges, and what would you say operators these days, if they want to even combine different verticals, or maybe just start in self-storage, or just in co-working, or just offices, making it digital, what would you say, what do they underestimate, and what are the challenges to set up everything?
It's really to be open to rethinking or tweaking your business model. So we are a very flexible system, and we are flexible because we have a lot of customers with different demands, and we're very careful when we build functions to make sure that they can cater to a wide audience. But usually when people come up with their business models, they don't think about, okay, how is this going to be handled digitally? They just sit back and like, okay, I'd like to do this, and we'll charge this much for that hour, and there, it gets convoluted pretty quickly. And then when you want to put that into a digital flow, it's, if you think about it, put it in a digital flow first. Okay, what works, makes sense in a digital flow? How make your business rules easier? Maybe not have like 5 different tiers of members that, one tier can use the copier, the other one cannot, and those guys have to pay for coffee, but that coffee is included. It's easy to
keep it simple from the start.
Keep it simple. If you're starting out, it's like, just make it very clear, because it's very clear for customers as well then too. Then it's like, oh, this is what I get. That's very transparent.
Yeah.
But then also be open to tweaking your business model if you want to digitize it all out. So we have customers that really want to stick to the stuff they've done. It's like, okay, we'll take away 80% of your admin work, but that 30% that you're, we're not going to water the plants. Let's put it that way. So that's something to think about when you're choosing a system, but then also making sure it can be implemented effectively in your organization.
Okay, perfect. So just talking here also about the services, different services a platform basically offers. What would you say, at what point does the building stop being just a building, just a real estate? And at what point are they becoming really like a digital service platform?
it's up to the building owner or manager, proprietor, I would say, to see the potential of the building. So we run into a lot of people that have kind of odd spaces, and they're like, oh, we don't know what to do with this floor, or we don't know what to do with this space. And I was like, well, this would be cool to have maybe a golf simulator. We've done quite a few of those. We even put up one of our own. Yeah. So 100 square meters and enough roof space, put in 2-3 golf simulators. That's a really nice revenue stream, very hands off. Or even we talked about coworking, having even smaller coworking areas with more drop-in type stuff, where people just like on the go, or they don't need a full-time office, they just want to pop in, sit by a screen and work undisturbed for a while. Trying to loosen up, I say, the thought of a building. Sort of 10 years ago, an office building or a building in the city, it's very closed off, right? Everything's locked. You need to be, know somebody to go in there, or you need to work there or something. We want to, or see a trend that you kind of open it up a little bit. And that, of course, puts a lot of demands on your booking system, that's us, but also the access control system, which is Sensorberg. So really what we're doing, we're allocating access to people, to spaces, against payment, and also against, the rules. Okay, this room can be open from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. for alternate use, but after that, it's going to be used for something else. I think starting to think about buildings in those terms, because the digital solutions are there to really open it up. And I think that's quite exciting. There's so much empty space. I mean, in the middle of downtown Stockholm, I was just, going around meeting customers, because it is in these beautiful conference rooms. Obviously, I kind of sneak a peek on the booking schedule, and it's like 2 meetings in a day. And that space probably costs, 1,000 euros a month for nothing. You could rent it out and make 2,000 euros if you're open to the idea.
100%. I mean, a lot of empty space I've seen. I mean, I'm based in Cologne, and also when I'm going to the city here and there, I see so many different empty spaces and people not really use it properly. And then on the other side, you see a lot of more startups coming around, and like maybe working from home, and they would be happy to have like a workspace to work from and book like just a meeting for some, partner meetings with potential maybe investors as well. So we need to find like a common area to fit everything in.
And that's very true for storage as well. I've noticed some of the larger property owners in Stockholm. One of them called me up a couple of days ago and said, Johan, we have this really awkward building outskirts of Stockholm, but we don't know what to do with it. We've been trying to rent it out for a long time. And it's like, you're talking about self-storage. Is that something, like, how complicated is that? How many people would we need to hire, and what would we need to do? I was like, don't hire anybody, and make sure
just make it digital.
Just put in the infrastructure, put in digital lock, set it up with Agendo, make sure that you have proper surveillance cameras, whatnot. That's it. Then you have a guy or girl go out there, check it out. Maybe you do a round once or twice per day. But that building has not been paying rent for you for 3-4 years. Now, all of a sudden, you can, cover your cost and actually make a nice profit on it. For comparatively very little investment.
Speaking of investment, I think that's also a good thing to say, is that especially from my perspective, the last couple of months, I would say, we get more and more requests or inquiries for real estate investors. and those who are already in the market for any sort of hotels, for example, co-living, smart apartments, but also co-working offices. And now they're jumping also on the thing of going, okay, hey, wait a sec, there's something called self-storage, so let's move into self-storage. And yeah, I think you guys have seen that, let's not call it trend, but like you guys have seen as well the potential of self-storage. If you like lastly would say or would give any tip or advice to, let's say, real estate investors or people who are starting new into self-storage and would like to make the property digital, any relevant advice for them for the next years when they start new into such a field?
Yeah, just don't be a hurry to, don't be a hurry to try to select everything in like one day. Think about, like I said before, think about your business plan. Think about, okay, what's the customer journey going to be like, etc., etc., with a digital first mindset. Okay, we wanted to do this. What would it look like in a booking system? What would it require from a access control system? And then dare to go fully digital. Dare to not let it be unmanned. Like, I think that's a big step for property people to sort of go hands off and let it be unmanned. It's kind of scary, but we have been working with these situations now for almost 5 years. We even run some of our own, like I said, golf simulators, stuff like that. It's completely unmanned. We have security cameras, obviously, and we were like, oh, I don't know if is this really going to work? Are people going to understand how they open the door? Who are they going to ask if they have questions, etc., etc. But people are surprisingly self-reliant when there's nobody there. So I think if there's somebody there, they get kind of complacent and lazy and just like run to the nearest person, like, oh, where's my storage? Where's this? Where's the key? Where's that? If
they don't need to worry because they have people there who just taking it from them off, right? But if you don't have anyone here, you just need to do something. And I think what I always tell people is work with signs, basically. You need to have it placed somewhere that people understand how the building works and what do they need to do, because if you don't have people on site, who should I ask? But then I think it's a good point. Yes, they just do it themselves.
Yeah. So they spend another 10 seconds like, okay, so, oh, I'm supposed to go there. I don't want to be I don't want to be rude, but I have a 5-year-old and I see the same thing. Like, her immediate response is like, Daddy, help me with this. Daddy, help me with that. Daddy, help me with that. I'm like, Esther, figure it out.
Like, it's kind of also educating your people.
Yes. And of course, I mean, there's going to be elderly people mostly that find it difficult or frightening or don't know. Have a venue for them to contact you easily. Sure. But you don't need to have people there. For me, this was a question, will it work 5 years ago? Is this a path forward? Now I know, because we do it ourselves. We have 2,500 customers in our internal businesses that are unmanned, paired with digital access, open late at night. I mean, we have maybe out of the 0.5%, 0.2% that have not been able to follow the journey and require help. So there's huge gains if you dare to just leave it unmanned.
Yeah, 100%. And I think what's also one thing people not talking often about is like the customer behavior. I think this is also what I have learned over the last years. I mean, I've been now with Sensorberg for like 5.5 years. I think I'm entering 5th year this year, but yeah, customer behavior, because if you have everything smart and digital, you can try to understand your customers, because you can see everything online. You can see what's going on, what are their preferred booking behaviors. Well, I think that's something people always forget. yes, with having everything smart and taking some money, some investment from the start, but it is a big plus that you can eventually understand your customer behavior for maybe one side, maybe multiple sides, multiple usages, like the combined mix, but then also scale from there, because at one point you understand your customer behavior so much that you can kind of adapt your business model to it as well.
Yes, completely. And that was, I encourage our prospective customers and new customers, and like, try Agendo start from the customer perspective.
Yeah.
Just do a customer journey. And of course, in our admin panel, we have the customer journey readily available. So like when you make a change, I was like, you make a small change, go what happened to the customer journey? You change a price, you change the description, you change an image, just go check it out all the time. Look at it like the customer. And we try to look at our admin panel and the customer journey, of course, always as a user. What am I looking at? Does this make sense? Does this not make sense? And we continuously hone the system to make it more user-friendly. And in fact, we're right now in the middle of a sprint to cater even more to, I'm not going to say self-storage only, but I'm going to say rental type of businesses, because self-storage, we call it the rental type business, where there's a start date and there's an ongoing payment stream and an open-ended end date. And I would say, you didn't ask this question, or maybe you did, but when you select a system, be open, talk to your potential vendor and say, what kind of response can I get from requests? Everybody's going to say, yeah, we listen to our customers. Of course we do. Just become a customer and then you'll find out. But I say we only build stuff based on customer feedback. And my job is essentially to talk to customers all day, new and existing ones, to see, okay, what's the bottleneck? What doesn't make sense?
Yeah.
This should be moved there. This should be moved here. And I'm not going to say, okay, you tell me something, it's going to be done tomorrow. We're going to put it in the backlog. We're going to discuss it. We'll maybe ping you, say, could we get some feedback on this solution that we're proposing? And then you will see it on your screen eventually. And I think that's the way to build a SaaS software now.
Yeah.
You really have to listen to the customer. And we don't really do any advertising. I said, this is my first podcast. We only do, grow by word of mouth, essentially. And in our business model, we don't have a lock-in period. We don't have a start fee. It's pay as you go. And I don't want customers that are unhappy, because that makes my life difficult and their life difficult. And, if you're not happy with the solution, then you can, find something that suits you better. Luckily, that doesn't happen very much. That's why it's easy to promise.
I have one last question for you, Johan, because I'm seeing this as well all the time, that especially in self-storage, but I guess also in co-working, real estate, any sort of commercial buildings, basically, you have always so many different suppliers and stakeholders involved, right? For self-storage, I mean, you have the partitioning service, you have the booking engine like Agendo, you have smart access, you have alarm, you have security, you have so many different things involved. And what I see also nowadays is that people are, when they start new, they're a little bit lost. They talk to you like, okay, Laura, hey, where should I start? So do you see that as well? And do you have any tip on that?
Oh, yes. So we're one part of that cogwork of systems that need to talk to each other. And I've actually, we're pioneering an initiative where we're trying to sponsor an initiative where you have one counterparty. We're going to try this out. So you collect all these sub-supplier and you put it into one, let's call it one silver plate. And the customer has then one point of contact for
nice, yeah,
all these subsystems. Because I know myself, I'm part of delivering a solution to a self-storage, but then the customer is also talking to an installer, and it's talking to the security people, the security cameras, and maybe the fire suppression and all that stuff. And I understand it's quite a bit. So the vision of that initiative is to deliver it on a silver plate, and the customer can be comfortable, can call one person and say, okay, I don't understand this quote. Does this system work with that system? Is it compliant with your insurance, etc., etc.? So that's
it's funny. So silver plate will be then your kind of new business besides Agendo.
Yeah, it will be a standalone, and it will not be co-owned by Agendo, but I'm one of the initiators behind it, just to answer that tackle that problem that you just outlined.
Okay.
Because if it's easier to sell Agendo, if everything else is easier to sign up to as well.
Of course. I was just saying, it's super funny because silver plate, I mean, in German, you also say that you're serving something on silver plate, which is like all in one, right? On one silver plate. So it's the same explanation actually also then in Swedish, I guess.
Correct. You can find most of our sayings have some sort of German origin.
Very similar, yeah. Okay, cool. So people, that actually means if people are lost and they're like, okay, where to start, what kind of different supplier stakeholders are involved, they can basically reach out to you and you basically manage or handle everything, or what's the business model behind Silverplate then?
Well, so Silverplate, you would have one point of contact and describe what you're looking for. Okay, I want to do a self-storage, it's a new build, or it's a retrofit of an existing. We want digital access. We want to make sure that we have the security feed because it's going to be unmanned, etc., etc. And now today, like, okay, let's call that guy because he's an installer, and I'll have him call into the customer, and then the customer gonna have to reach out there and here. So now I'm sitting waiting to get Agenda online, and it takes a month, 2 months because of all these other stuff that needs to be coordinated. And so this is really, it's an outgrowth of me just wanting to have an easier selling process to be able to sell more Agenda licenses quicker.
So you do the work for the people, basically, right? You support
I've hopefully individuals that are very well versed in the space that already kind of do this, but in more informally, that have all the connections, that have all the know-how to be able to pull it together effectively. Because over the years you get to know this installer is really good in this area, and this camera provider is super efficient and price sensitive, etc. Okay, so we put this together and put it to you. Ideally, and this is going to take some time, ideally we want to offer it at a single monthly price. So you package everything together, and instead of you getting 5 different invoices from different vendors for different periods and different terms and conditions, ideally I just want to say, okay, you have self-storage, you need this, and that, and you want to be online August 1st. Okay, it's going to cost you this much per month. First invoice will be in your inbox August 15th. You're good to go. That's all you need to know.
How do people find you? Are you guys already online with Silverplate?
Not yet. I think this will be a perfect topic for the next episode I will show up in. sometime after the summer we'll make it.
Okay, cool, great.
But
I mean, okay, great. But for the audience, people can already reach out to you if they're interested in Agenda, right?
Yes, please. Yes, please. And also, we're going to start. We're starting slowly and surely to onboard customers on Silverplate too, but we're still in stealth mode, I would say.
Okay, great.
So reach out to me regardless.
Okay. Okay, great. So to the audience, if you guys have any questions or need any support from Johan, then just reach out to him either from Agendo or Silverplay, or just reach out, of course, to me. I can also share the contact details. And yeah, I would say that's it basically for today, Johan.
Well,
It was a pleasure.
yeah, same here. Same here. Thank you very much for your time and
Thank you for your
and
time.
having me on the smart storage talk.